Hey everyone, it is Lynn Love here, and I am at a temple in Vietnam. And I felt really called to just get on camera and just talk about the journey of finding compassion for yourself. And it makes a lot of sense because I'm here sitting with Kuan Yin, who is the mother of compassion and healing and transformation. And compassion is such a powerful tool that we can use on our healing path. I mean, there's so many moments where I'm doing shadow work or I'm like feeling down or feeling anxiety or feeling depressed, and I just have to find a quiet moment to just sit with myself. And oftentimes, if I'm able to just find a quiet moment, sit with what I'm feeling, and that space helps me create healing for myself in a way that just being present is just healing, and that presence is just healing, and that compassion is so extremely healing. And oftentimes we forget that we don't need anything else. We just need a moment to just be with ourselves and self-reflect on what we're feeling. And when I start feeling into compassion and how important compassion is for ourselves, but also for others, compassion is one of those tools that teach us how to step outside of ourselves, step outside of the situation that we're feeling, and see ourselves for as we are. We're humans having a human experience, feeling so many feelings, feeling depression, anxiety, sadness, happiness, whatever we are feeling in that moment, and just allowing ourselves to have that experience and not judging it, but just simply being with that and not having any sort of action or need to fix, but just to be with that is so deeply healing. And that reminds me of just this divine feminine presence and Kuan Yin's presence that teaches us that when we can sit with these more difficult moments of our lives, that is so healing. And sometimes the most difficult thing to do, and I get that. And there's moments of me while I'm traveling feeling like, oh man, I just wish I had like a moment to myself. Or even when I'm with a lot of patients or with a lot of people, I'm like, I wish I could have a moment to myself. And seeing that and being with that and having the tools that support me through that process of anxiety and fear and overwhelm, and at the same time kind of again cultivating compassion that yes, I am a human being having a humane experience. I have needs, and at this moment needs are not being fulfilled, and so not judging myself with that, not having this sort of criticism or this self-hatred around, oh well, I need to be a certain way or I need to just push through this. Well, instead, having compassion for oneself is really powerful in that there's an acceptance there for your experience. There's a validation of your experience. And as I'm sitting here, I took a moment of having some quiet time and just sitting with, what's around me, this temple. And I am reminded that as I am praying to Buddha, as I am offering my prayers and my intentions to Buddha and Kuan Yin and all the bodhisattvas here, I'm realizing that I am that, and there's no separation between me and Buddha and Kuan Yin. And in fact, that's a stepping stone when we pray to a guide or assistance. we are in fact asking for support and guidance. And there comes a point where we learn that actually we are that guidance, we are that support when we can cultivate that for ourselves. But that is also sometimes a difficult path to go on and to cultivate, is this path of acceptance and compassion for oneself. But eventually, the more you do it, the more you sit with yourself through different experiences and difficult emotions, the more we can cultivate that capacity to sit through that and support ourselves through that. And in fact, it's not about trying to depend on another person to sit with you through that, even though that helps and that's very supportive to have community to move through certain situations, and that builds a lot of resilience. But at the end of the day, we are going through this experience on our own, and others might not know exactly what we're feeling, but we can cultivate the safe spaces for ourselves within ourselves. And by doing that, we do that, and with a lot of compassion, a lot of self-acceptance, and non-judgment, and spaciousness to reflect, to meditate, and to sit with ourselves through really difficult situations, we can find a moment of peace and reframe the situation, or rethink the situation, or take a different path that maybe we would have taken, maybe a more difficult path. And I know this for sure from experience, where if I didn't take a moment to just sit with myself and take some space, I probably would have done what I always did, which was maybe act out or be angry or react in a way that wasn't smart. And so being able to cultivate these spaces of compassion and rest and reflection is super important. And I hope you find that for yourself today. As I'm sitting here, I'm feeling that and feeling called to put that out there. And so I hope you enjoy, and I hope any of this I hope this resonates with you. And I'm sending you so much peace from this beautiful place with Kuan Yin and the Bodhisattvas.